morning, boys and girls. Oh, come on. I know it's early, but it's Friday. It's almost the end of school. It's Friday the 13th. So give me a big good morning. Good morning, boys and girls. That'll work. That'll work. Congratulations to all you young boys and girls sitting here. We're so proud of you. And thank you to all the turnout of the parents, siblings, grandparents, friends, aunts, and uncles. We are tickled to death, and I know they are, that such a big turnout came to watch them participate in today's graduation. I know some of your folks couldn't be here, and that's understandable because sometimes work and life gets in the way like that. So they'll get to see it later. We'll tell you how you can watch it later towards the end of the graduation. We'll get today's ceremony started with the pledge, and we're going to get about 5 young people up here to help lead us in the pledge. So if I call your name, if you'll just stand here on this blue line and face the American flag, please. We've got Bradley Francis, Adelia Latta, Owen Schmall, Kaylee Hooten, and Sean Yarnell. If everyone else will please rise and let these young people lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Just in case, before we get some of our other guests up here, and obviously we appreciate you guys being here, and there's some of the police officer staff that work together to make pretty much all the DARE graduations possible. Not all the staff can be at every graduation, but we have 8 full-time officers that go into the schools to deliver the DARE curriculum and the great curriculum, and they work very closely with all the schools year-round. And some of those officers are here with us today. Over here we've got Officer Jay Radzinski. And it's all right, you can clap for him. Whoop, whoop. There you go, Jay. We've also got Officer Mark Todd here with us. Officer Daniel Parkhurst. And y'all, where did Darren go? Anybody see where Darren went? I guess he had to take a break. Darren's kind of old. Darren's been around a long time, for about 33 years, so Darren's got to go take naps. He'll come back out. Darren, the line that you probably saw, he'll be back out to take pictures with you guys later and stuff, but he's here with us. And then I think y'all probably know a couple of these other officers sitting over here, and we'll hear more from them later, but we've got Officer Ava Radley, and Officer Stan Meeks. And I'll introduce some other guests here in just a few minutes. I don't want to steal their thunder. I would like to tell you just a little bit about DARE. It has been around, like I said, it started in '83, but that was out on the West Coast. The former police chief out there, Daryl Gates, implemented the program where he just wanted uniformed officers to come into the schools to teach and to build relationships with the kids. So obviously it's progressed a lot in the last 33 years. We've actually been teaching it in Murfreesboro since 1992. And it's gone through several facelifts throughout the years, just with technology and changing times, trying to keep up with those. It is a 10-week program now where an officer goes into the classroom for 1 hour every week for 10 weeks in a row, or pretty much 10 weeks in a row, given all the breaks that you've got with spring break, fall break, Christmas break, stuff like that. So we really, really appreciate the time that the teachers and Ms. Spencer allow us to come into your school here and take up an hour of your guys' day every week for 10 weeks to try to give these young people. Basically, it's just another tool that they can put in their toolbox to learn to say no to a drug offer. Unfortunately, we as parents would like to think that we don't have to worry about that, but we all know better in today's times, especially our young people are probably going to be faced with a drug offer a whole lot sooner than we would like to think. So we want to give them this information as early as we can, and between what you teach them at home, what they learn at school from their teachers and their principal, maybe their pastor at church, their DARE officer, maybe and all the positive people they hang around, they'll be able to say no to that drug or violence offer when they're confronted with it. Some of the things that we talk about in that 10 weeks in the classroom are peer pressure, both positive and negative, and how to respond to it. Talk about stress, empathy, bullying, being a positive person in the community, how to communicate with each other, both verbal and nonverbal communication skills. The list just goes on and on. Every week it's something new that they learn, a new skill. They get to practice these by doing skits or working in their daily planner that they'll get to bring home if they haven't already, so you can even take a closer look at some of the things they had to do to get to graduate today. With that being said, I'll come up and tell you about a few more things in a little bit, but at this time, please make welcome Ms. Spencer. She's going to come up and say a few words to you.
Good morning. I know that all of you are here to celebrate these fantastic children that we have here before us, and I just have to tell you something about these kiddos. These kids came into this school with me. So when they started kindergarten, I became the principal here at Siegel. And you guys have been so special. To watch you grow and learn and develop into who you are becoming has been such a privilege. And last night, Sergeant Walker, you don't know they were asleep because they danced last night. They tore up this gym floor last night. So last night, as I'm watching you come into this dance, and there's wedges, and fancy necklaces, and bow ties, I could see back to the day you came in this building in kindergarten. And I cannot wait to see what you guys do next. So thank you for letting us watch you grow. And thank you, parents, for sharing them with us. They are quite a special group of children. Well, I have the opportunity to thank Murfreesboro Police in front of our mayor. I just want to say thank you to the police in Murfreesboro for what you do through our DARE program, but also every day. You guys probably come in the building sometimes and see Officer Meeks here, and we are so privileged to have an officer in our building almost daily. So thank you, and thank you for your commitment to our safety. Ms. Austin come up and introduce our special guest. But while she's walking up, I want you all to know how hard Ms. Austin works to make this program work for you. She works with your teachers, she works with Officer Meeks, and she works with the master schedule to make this happen. So thank you, Ms. Austin. Thank you.
Good morning. I have the pleasure of introducing our speaker for this morning. We have with us Mayor Shane McFarland, and I just want to tell you a little bit about him. Shane McFarland was elected to the Murfreesboro City Council in 2006. He is a graduate of Middle Tennessee State University. He served as 1995-1996 MTSU SGA president and received his BA in accounting in 1997. He is also a 1998 graduate of Leadership Rutherford. He's married to Ashley Ryan McFarland, and together they are the parents of 3 boys, Eli, Luke, and Drew. McFarland was recently elected mayor of Murfreesboro and has previously served on the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Commission, the Old Fort Golf Commission, Murfreesboro Pension Commission, and various other boards and commissions. McFarland is a baseball and basketball coach and a member of the Blue Raider Athletic Association. His hobbies include running, cycling, hiking, golf, and playing guitar. Mayor McFarland is also owner of Shane McFarland Construction. So, please join me in welcoming our speaker for this morning, Mayor Shane McFarland.
I was just telling Principal Spencer that instead of reading all that, it would be better off just to say that I'm Luke, Eli, and Drew's dad, and I would be totally fine with that. Be a lot quicker, right? It's my pleasure to be here today. This is one of my favorite parts of being mayor. I got to speak to McFadden yesterday, Mitchell Nielsen yesterday, and had a blast speaking to the second grade and the sixth grade. Real quickly, I want to do a couple of things. I bet y'all didn't know this, but you actually have two mayors who are in the gym today. Mayor Richard Reeves, I saw him sitting back there, so Mayor Reeves, give him a round of applause. He was a past mayor of Murfreesboro. And students, I can't tell you, and I'm not just saying this because I'm the mayor, there is not a time in this community or really in this country that it is tougher to be a teacher and a police officer. And it makes me proud every day. Stan Meeks is from my hometown. I grew up with Stan's family, and I can't tell you how much that when you talk to these police officers that they genuinely care for you, that your teachers care for you, and the job that they do is not just what they do every day, they take it home with them. And so I want to publicly just say, Greg, all the police officers and teachers who are here, we appreciate what you do, and it's easy for me to get up and say that, but it's easier for us to show it in how we treat you, and we appreciate what you guys do. Let's give them a round of applause. So I'm going to do the best type of speech today, and that's going to be a quick one for you guys. But I wanted to, as we're talking about DARE and we're celebrating the commitment that you guys have made, I want to talk to you real quickly about leadership. And two of my favorite people who embody what leadership is about are two people that you've studied. George Washington, you guys have all heard about George Washington, right? First president. Well, we all have these backstories, and I love sports. I'll sit up at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'll end up watching a cricket match. And I have no idea who the people are. I have no idea who the teams are, but I just like watching sports. And there's always this moment in a sports game that, if you talk to coaches, they'll call it a game-changing moment. There's that moment where momentum switches to one team. There's that moment when a player can look back and they said, look, this is the turning point. And so what I want to tell you guys today is one of those game-changing moments for you. And you're going to have a lot of those moving forward. But George Washington, there are game-changing moments that you may not ever know about or that people don't know about. George Washington, we know about him being the leader of the Revolutionary Army. We know about him being our first president. The stories that we don't know, whenever the war was over, there was a lot of unrest. People were upset. The soldiers hadn't gotten paid because there was no money to pay the soldiers. And so there was a group that came to George Washington in a meeting, and they asked him to be King George. We fought the Revolutionary War to be able to get away from the dictatorship of a king. Well, people were so upset, they came to him and they asked him if he would consider being King George. And he turned it down. And so, look, I'm a politician, right? Politicians normally don't turn down getting more power. And he did. But the funny thing is, he did it twice. They came to him again and asked him to be King George. And in a meeting that no one really knew about, in a meeting that it wasn't publicized, he gave a speech to a small group of people explaining why that we fought for our freedom and that he didn't want to be King George. And that was one of his game-changing moments that not many people know about. The second one, you've all heard of Jackie Robinson, right? We celebrate Jackie Robinson every year. Just last month, we celebrated him in Major League Baseball, where everyone wore the number 42. We know that he was the first African-American player to play in Major League Baseball for the Brooklyn Dodgers. And have y'all watched the movie 42? Well, what we don't really publicize, or that we don't know, it took him almost 2 years from the time that he had the meeting with Branch Rickey to be able to make it up to the major leagues. He didn't just go to the major leagues. He went to minor league, bus rides, all of these tough things, had all of these moments before he made it up to play for the Brooklyn Dodgers. He had all of these game-changing moments. He had all of these tough things that we don't necessarily know about, but he did that before he made it to the pros. And now we celebrate him every year. His legacy will live forever because of the game-changing moments that he did. The last thing I want to tell you, you guys have trained to get to this point where you are. So in November, I'm running the New York Marathon. And so if you guys told me today that you said, hey, Mr. Shane, I'm going to pay you $1 million if you'll run a marathon today, I'm going to try my best to do that. But odds are, I probably am not going to be able to do it today. Now, if you told me, hey, Mr. Shane, I'm going to give you $1 million for you to run a marathon in November, do you know what's going to happen? Come November, I'm taking your money. Because from today to November, I'm going to commit to train to do whatever I possibly can to run that marathon. And so the reason I tell you that, every night I'll pray for my boys that I want them to be leaders. But my boys will, when we work on something that's hard, they'll say, well, I'll try. And I always will tell them, don't try, train. There's a big difference. Anyone can try to do something. You guys can try to say no to drugs. But what you have done today is you've trained to say no. And so what I want to challenge you today is to continue training. Don't stop training on making those choices. It's easy to be a leader when people are watching you, but the reason I tell you the story of George Washington and Jackie Robinson, it's much harder to do the right things and to be a leader when no one's watching. So commit to train. Train to do the right things when people are not necessarily looking at what you're doing. And I guarantee you, when you do that, when you commit that you're going to train, when you commit that you're going to work, good things will continually come to you. I am so proud to be your mayor. I'm so proud to be in front of you today, because what we're looking at today is something that's going to be exciting for the future of Murfreesboro. What you've done today is made a commitment that you're going to train to continue to make this community a better place. And I'm proud that you've made that choice. So moving forward, if there's anything we can do to help you, we're here for you. Let's everyone give these students a round of applause. All right, thank y'all so much for allowing me to come out and speak.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate you being here and taking time out of your day to come and talk to all of us. Before we get on with the presentation of the certificates, I see a lot of 11, 12-year-old eyes keep looking over here at this table. So I'm going to tell everybody what's over there at that table and why it's there. But I would also like to say, coming back to Siegel, for me, is a little nostalgic and kind of bittersweet. I became a DARE officer. I was a part-time DARE officer. Back then, 14 years ago, in 2002, we didn't have full-time officers that could go out to the schools. We'd pretty much work the road for 4 days and then come and teach a couple of classes one day. And I had Mrs. Lane and Mrs. Wade back then, 14 years ago. They were my first two teachers that were in the classroom. And obviously, I appreciate both of them. Miss Lane's still here with us, and thank you for setting the example of how a teacher was supposed to act back then. She was always involved in the class while I was in there. She didn't leave and go, run errands and stuff and just leave me hanging out with the kids for an hour, or back then it was 45 minutes. But I really appreciate that relationship back then, and I know all the fifth grade teachers have that kind of relationship with our staff now. some of the things that we're going to give away today as awards. Along about week 8, we had to, all the kids had to write a DARE essay. Had to be at least 1 page long, maybe 2 pages at the most. And they had certain criteria they had to include in this essay. It's a lot of fun. Man, that's a lot of essays that Stan and Ava had to read. But that gives us a reflection that they were actually, sometimes you wonder, are they really, is any of this stuff getting through? Are they listening? Are they in la la land and stuff like that? But when you read the essays, you really understand that it all soaked in. So I look forward to hearing, we get to give prizes to the first, second, and third place essay winners. And you'll get to come up here, if you won the first place essay, they get to come up here and read it for everybody in here. So this is usually an award where everybody's cool with winning second place, because then they don't have to come up here in front of everybody and read their essay. We also tasked the young boys and girls with selecting a DARE boy and a DARE girl to represent each class. And we tell them it's not a popularity contest. We basically just ask them to look around the room at each other and try to pick out one boy and one girl and identify them now as somebody that's already making good decisions, somebody that's already demonstrating good leadership skills and setting a good example and being a good role model to their peers. So our hope is that each one of you boys and girls can stay drug and violence free for your entire life. We know you have the tools. You just got to put them into play. So if you receive the DARE Boy or the DARE Girl Award, take pride in that, because that means your classmates, your peers, your friends are already identifying you as somebody that they look up to. So we'll do that here momentarily too. All right, we're going to get Officer Meeks up here first. Y'all make him feel welcome. Come on up, stand.
Thank you, Sergeant Walker. I appreciate you. Let me say first, I'm not going to talk a lot because the mayor's here and he's done an awesome job, and I thank you one more time, Mr. Mayor, for coming out. I'd like to say thank you to all my teachers and to our principal, who's awesome, and to our counselor, who's awesome also. I really, really love this school. I've been here a long time, and I don't know what I'd do without y'all sometimes. I really don't. Thank you so much for letting me be here. I want to say, shout out to a couple people. There's a young man here who helps me a lot, Mr. Chris Watkins. Are you here? Could y'all give Chris a hand? He helps me with the doors and several things here. He's like my deputy. Hey, Chris. There's another gentleman here I want to recognize. You guys, everybody has role models, and one of mine's here today, and I just want to thank him for being here, Mr. John Greeter in the back. I can't remember him not being a part of my life. Thank you so much, Mr. Greeter. Okay, with that being said, y'all have heard enough from me, so if we can get Mr. Baird's class up here. Yes, sir. Okay. If you guys remember to hold your applause until all the names have been called so that all the parents can hear their young person's name.
Javon Ballard. Brady Bramble. Ellie Tchaikovsky. Devin Darnell. Kai Finley. Emma Freilich. Bryson Gator. Callie Gerbman. Amaria Gillespie. Allie Hawkins. Anna Henry. Dylan Henry. Kaya Hulse. Christopher Gillette. Reed Johnson. Paige Nedrow. Jonathan Spurlock. Sean Yarnell.
Mr. Baird, thank you for coming to your class. I certainly had a good time, and thank you for all your support. Appreciate it. Yeah, you can give me a hand. Thank you. And the dare boy for Mr. Baird's class is Sean. Sean Yarnell. And the dare girl is Paige Nedrow. These essays, as Sergeant Walker said, are some of the hardest things that we do as dare officers, and these were some of the most challenging ones I've had in a while. The third place winner for Mr. Baird's class is Amari Gillespie. Second place winner is Tristan Parkhurst. And the first place winner and the one who gets to read their essay is Allie Hawkins.
The DARE program teaches you many things. I like the DARE program because it teaches you not to do drugs, make better decisions, and how to deal with peer pressure. I'm going to tell you what I learned in DARE. What have I learned in DARE today to stay drug-free? I learned that drugs are terrible for you. For example, more than 400,000 Americans die from tobacco-related causes each year. Why do I think it's important to be drug-free? Because all drugs are bad for you. For example, smoking causes heart disease. What have I learned in DARE to make better decisions? I have learned that you don't ever do drugs, drink alcohol, or smoke. I learned that to make better decisions, I need to be friends with the people I know will not force me to do the drugs. Why do I think it's important to make good decisions? I think it's important because drugs are bad for your body. What have I learned in DARE to deal with peer pressure? I learned that peer pressure can be hard to ignore. When someone pressures you to do something, just ignore them. That's what I learned in DARE. I, Allie Hawkins, promise to stay drug-free for the rest of my life.
Very good. Nice job. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Bjork.
Henry Baird. Brody Ballou. Cate Boykin. Parker Crane. Anissa Crowder. Cameron Floyd. Zariah Gaines. Addison Grant. Parker Harnagel. Maya Herbert, Ryan Hester, Liam Hauk, Kyla Kendrick, Adelia Latta, Bryce Lawrence, Ashton Nobles, Quentin Peppola, Weston Robbins, Jackson Salvig, Noah Simon, Haley Smith, Zach Smith, Macy Smotherman, Harrison Taylor, Nadia Worthen,
Thank you, Mr. Bjork, for sharing your class with me and always being on my side. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The dare boy for Mr. Bjork's class is Ryan Hester. And the dare girl is Adelia. Third place winner is Macy Smotherman. Second place winner is Ashton Knowles. And the first place winner is Kyla Kendrick.
In DARE, we learned a lot of things. We learned how to stay drug-free, how to make better decisions, also how to deal with peer pressure. In DARE, we learned how to stay drug-free. We learned that staying drug-free helps you have a healthy life. It also helps you get a good job. Being drug-free is really important. We learned in DARE that making the right decisions plays a major role in this. You have to make the right decisions because if you don't, your life can be turned upside down. We learned it is all right to say no or take time to think, as long as you do what's right. Peer pressure, being pressured to do something to deal with peer pressure, you can do a lot of things. You can say no, ignore them, or ask them to stop. You can even tell an adult. Thank you for reading my essay. This is just a few things I learned in DARE. I promise to stay drug-free.
Very good. Okay, Mrs. Davenport.
Inslee Baird,
Brooklyn Burnett. Terrence Carpenter. Olivia Dennis. Bradley Francis. Jakian Gamble. Olivia Hibden. Maddie Hicks. Evan Johnson. Jamal Johnson. Mary Burke Jubenville. Caden Kilborn. Cate McCreary. Will Milliken. Corey Puckett. Emma Ridgely. Cameron Schneider. Isabella Steiner. Grayson Tidwell. Nazareth Trejo. Caleb Tyus. Sam Weaver. Becca Wilson. Nora Jones. And Maya Sutton.
Thank you, Ms. Davenport, for all the help you give me over the years. We've worked together for quite some time. You always help me with scheduling, and you mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. The DARE boy from Miss Davenport's class is Caleb. And the DARE girl is Maddie Hicks. Maddie, I have to apologize. I got that mixed up. You're our third place winner, and Mary Burke Jubenville's our DARE girl. That is Officer Meek's fault. If you would come up and get your third place essay winner. That's what happens when your eyes go. Second place essay winner is Olivia Dennis. And the first place winner is Cate McCreary. You want to step out here so they can see you? Sure. That's fine. There you go. That's perfect.
My name is Cate McCreary, and I am in Ms. Davenport's class at Siegel Elementary in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I am glad I participated in the DARE program. It's a really smart way to prepare for the future. I know how alcohol and tobacco can hurt people. I don't want to make those same mistakes. I have learned how to stay drug-free, make better decisions, and deal with peer pressure. First, I learned the decision-making model. I think it's a good strategy to help people figure out how to deal with problems. Also, safety responds to choices and responds to peer pressure. I need to trust myself and don't let anyone try to talk me out of it. Another one of signs of stress. I can see this in other people and myself. For example, a person whose face is all red could be embarrassed. Finally, reporting bullying. Use the 5 W's to report bullying: who, what, when, where, and why. Report it to a grown-up you trust. I think it's important to stay drug-free, make better decisions, and deal with peer pressure because I'll have a better life. I don't want to get unhealthy by smoking or drinking. I'll be much happier if I make the best choices. I, Cate McCreary, pledge to never smoke or drink or give in to peer pressure for the rest of my life.
Ava, would you like to come up and do Miss Harris? Sir? Do Miss Harris's class?
Do I need to hold that? There you go. Emma Abel. Madison Armstrong. Angelo Christopher. Janet Diaz. Madison Easterbrook. Zach Forehand. Ethan Harnagel. Yamar Hollins. Spencer Hughes. Davier Jackson. Bryant Lawless. Charlie Meyer. Ahmad Ogletree. Yeah, he does. Daniel Powell. Kendall Remkes. Hannah Rager. Gentry Sailing. Maddox Savanaraj. Kai Sparta. Molly Wagner. And Nariah Wright. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Harris.
You're welcome.
I want to thank Ms. Harris and her class for letting me come in for an hour, first thing in the morning. We have grown together, we've learned together, we've had some really, really, really good times, and we've had some trying times. But I wouldn't change it for anything. I've grown over the last 10 weeks, and I am so proud that you guys let me come in and grow with you. You challenged me every day. Even when I came back to lunch with you guys, Y'all do not understand all the questions. They wanted to wear my vest. I took it off and let them see how hot it was and how heavy. But we've had a good time, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you. For Miss Harris's Dare girl, Emma. Dare boy, Maddox. The essays, you guys, were awesome. Thank you. There was times I didn't think you were getting it, but you did. And everyone is a first place winner in my book. Everyone. So, you know, it was hard really for me to just pick out 1, 2, or 3, but I had to. But I just want y'all to know that everybody is first place. Our third place is Danielle Powell. Second place is Madison. First place, Cayenne. Can you see it? Mm-hmm. I can't speak loud.
And there I have learned many new things. The 3 things that I felt were the most important are the effects of consuming alcohol, what smoking can do to you, to your body, and no, not to bully others. Alcohol is illegal to anyone under the age of 21. I learned drinking too much can affect your brain. You should never drink and get behind a vehicle. You could harm yourself or someone else. Smoking cigarettes causes many harmful things to your body. Notice that nicotine is what is inside the cigarette. It is illegal to sell to anyone under the age of 18. The effect on your body may take years to show. Third, I learned that bullying students in my class or seeing someone getting bullied is not right. I learned how to report a student situation if I see my friends getting bullied. In conclusion, I learned many things during my DARE class. The things I felt were important to me were the effects of consuming alcohol, what smoking can do to your body, and how to report bullying when I see it.
Thank you. Ryan. Ryan. You don't want the book, Ryan? Thank you, Ms. Harris.
Okay. If I can have Mrs. Lane bring her class up.
Reagan Bandy. Connor Bowles. Seth Gray. McKaylee Hall. Kaylee Hooten. Braden Huddleston. Kenzie McIntyre. Logan Nunnery. Elijah Pettigo. Yoseline Perez. Santiago Pooler. Kayan Pridgeon. Sam Quattrini. Callie Sanders. Xavier Sinsfall. Boston Smith. Hannah Vandenberg. Jackson Vonderwell. Leon Wallace. Shelby Webb. And Madison Whitworth.
I'd like to thank Ms. Lane for supporting me for a long time also. I've learned a lot from you and your class. I thank you so much. The Dare boy for Miss Lane's class is Xavier. And the Dare girl is McKaylee Hall. Third place winner is Charlie West. Second place winner is Madison Whitworth. And our first place winner is Boston Smith.
There are many ways to stay drug-free forever. If you stay drug-free forever, you will be healthy. I know you want to stay healthy, so say no to drugs. Just think, when you say no to drugs, not only it will make your parents happy, but you and others will be proud too. When you keep your body healthy, you will live longer and enjoy it more. Drugs are like poison to your body. Ask yourself, would I want to mess that up? There are a lot of consequences of taking drugs. You can go to jail. Lots of people have died from taking drugs. When people chew and smoke tobacco, it reduces the amount of blood that flows to your brain. Just think, that's just one harmful drug. There are so many more other types of drugs out there. Do you want to be one of the 75,000 people who die from alcohol-related deaths a year? Think carefully and say no to drugs. What can you do when you are being peer pressured? Here are some examples to help you avoid peer pressure. The first is to avoid bad situations so you don't have to get involved in trouble. The next one is choose good friends because if we choose good friends, we can depend on them to help us during hard times. Finally, change the subject because if we change the subject, we can get the person talking about something different. Don't give in to peer pressure. Now I can conclude by saying that there are many ways to be healthy physically and mentally. We need to say no to drugs, know the consequences of your choices, and know how to deal with peer pressure. These will help you stay drug-free. Be cool, stay drug-free.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Next is Mrs. Pope's class. You want to understand Mrs. Pope is not feeling well, and Mrs. Lane will take care of her class for her. Hope she's feeling better. Thank you, Miss Lane.
Marshall Ashley. Jenny Chalk. Sophia Chashelski. Alyssa Cobbs. Noah Creaky. Jeremiah Earls. Isabella Garrett. Blaine Hargett. Abby Higgins. Mina Kane. Anna Kelton. Matt Kirby. Ben LaLance. Maggie Markham. Allie Mersch. Tony O'Cleary. Layla Niazi. Reagan Saltfield. Owen Small. Caden Tuck. Madison Yawn. Keone Yandel.
The dare boy for Miss Pope's class is Noah Creek. Dare girl is Abby Higgins. Third place SA is Tony O'Leary. Second place is Mina Kane. And our first place winner is Seamus Black. Seamus couldn't be with us today for personal reasons, so I'll be reading his essay. DARE is a fantastic learning experience. It gives you information to help you stay drug and alcohol free. I like DARE because of all the exercises where things that had happened to real people, not just made up scenarios. This way the situations reflect real world happenings and worries. I think it is important to go through the DARE to learn how to make good decisions about drugs and such, and be able to deal with peer pressure so you can stay drug free. DARE helped me learn to listen better. When listening, make eye contact. Also stay still and try not to move around a lot. I now think I will be drug free for my whole life because of DARE. I think that everyone should go through DARE because it is such a phenomenal learning experience. Very nice job by Seamus. Thank you, sir.
Let's give all of our DARE graduates one more big round of applause. Good job, guys. Before we dismiss, just a couple of announcements. If you wouldn't mind taking a look at the back of your bulletin, or program rather, when you came in, there's a list of contributors or supporters. Some of them are anonymous. They just give either their time or their money pretty much on a yearly basis to the DARE program so that we can do little extra things for the kids here and there. Then there's several businesses that if you would like to check out, I'm sure they would appreciate that. I will make mention of the Murfreesboro Cable Coordinator's Office, Channel 3. John's back there filming the DARE graduation for us this morning, and they'll be rebroadcasting all the DARE graduations from this semester on Channel 3, and it'll be on YouTube, and the DARE officers will send home a link for you to know when those will be posted online or on TV. And we appreciate them always being faithful to be here to film. I know sometimes it's hard to hear the essays because maybe somebody doesn't have a really loud voice, plus the gym is so open and the sound just doesn't carry. But this microphone right here that Channel 3 has up here picks up everything. So when you see these rebroadcasts later, you'll be able to hear the essays really well. Also, you guys like to skate? Anybody like to skate? There's going to be a free skate party for all the DARE graduates this coming Monday night at Skate Center West. You also get a free piece of pizza and a cold drink. Parents, that's from 5 to 7:30 at Skate Center West Monday night. And you are welcome to stay and hang out. If you're just hanging out, not skating, there's no charge for you to stay. There is a small charge if you want to stay and skate with your child. If you want to take, we did talk about risk and consequences during DARE, so you might want to consider some of the risk and consequences of skating. We don't mind, brothers and sisters, siblings can come and skate with you guys too, but there's a small charge for them if they skate as well. And listen up, you DARE graduates, you've got to wear your DARE graduation t-shirt that you have on right now. Make sure and wash it so you don't be stinking. So wear it Monday night to the skate party. That's how the DARE skate staff knows that you are a DARE graduate and you get in for free. So don't forget to wear your DARE t-shirt. When we dismiss, well, actually before we dismiss, I need to give a couple of gifts out. We had a couple of gifts. Miss Austin, if you would come up, we have a gift for you. thank you for always working with all of our staff, and me back in the day. Well, you gotta do it with Stan, right? Thank you. And Mrs. Spencer, if you could come up, please. Well, thank y'all very much. And if you can get the mayor his gift later on. The mayor had a meeting he had to attend at the city hall, so we'll get his gift to him later. When we dismiss, I would like to get a picture of, and Darren's there he is. Hey, Darren. He's back. Are you rested up, ready to play? We're gonna get one big group photograph of if you were a DARE boy or a DARE girl, or an essay winner, first, second, or third place. As soon as we dismiss, I want you to make your way up here, and we'll try to move some of this stuff so we can get a big group photo. And then parents, you're welcome to take pictures with your child, with Darren, or with the DARE officer, or whatever. Feel free to hang out in fellowship. Thank y'all again for coming, and have a wonderful rest of the day.